I'm Glenn Hughes, and I'm coming to see you soon for Classic Rock Glenn Hughes Deep Purple Live. And you're listening to Collision.
Hi, Glenn.
Hello.
How are you? It's Kat.
I'm fine. Yourself?
I'm not too bad at all, actually. I'm talking to you.
Oh, there you go. My pleasure.
So, I actually want to start. Well, of course, you are coming to Australia in September to do classic Deep Purple songs. And you haven't, there's been a lot of Deep Purple reunions and tours over the years, but you've never been part of them. Like, you haven't done Deep Purple since 1976. So
I haven't done a selection of songs in a show.
All right, so
in
you have
41 years like this. This is the first time I've done a show, more importantly, a tour, where I think the time is now. It's not like I was never going to do this, Kat. I just think it may have not been the right time. I think now is the time for me to do it. As David Coverdale did an album, the Purple album a couple of years ago. Deep Purple are on their last tour right now. So for me, it would appear to be a celebratory moment for me to pay my respects to where I came from.
Yeah, and speaking of which, you had the opportunity to be the lead vocalist as well as the bass player, but you chose not to take that role on. Is there a reason for that?
It's not like I want... as you know, I am a lead singer, but there's one thing about me that a lot of people need to know. I absolutely thrive on singing and sharing the mic with another singer.
Right.
I love it, and being, one or two singers in a band or one or three singers in a band, it was important for me. It was something I really thought was... I come from that era, the Beatles era, when there was two or three singers,
Yep.
And that, to me, speaks volumes because, I think singing is a really great art form, and I love sharing the microphone with other singers.
Well, it sounds to me like then singing to you is more about finding harmony and beauty rather than your own ego.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I play piano, and I learned how to play piano as a child, and I've always been intrigued by different, this may freak people out, but I was a really big Beach Boys fan in the 60s. And, of course, I'm a big Sgt. Pepper fan, as everybody was back then. And I'm also a Jimi Hendrix fan, and Stevie Wonder. When you throw all those together, you get this vocal thing, I love, arranging vocals, and, I love to do that. And I thrive on using the voice as an instrument.
Can I ask very quickly, what was it like being the front man of Black Sabbath for a short time?
It was a little different because, number one, some of those songs were not written for me kind of to sing in the way I sing. Mm-hmm. It was a very dramatic change for me to be in a band that had this huge fan base of a really cult kind of, metal kind of dark kind of image, and let's be clear, because all the, Ozzy, Geezer, Tony, and Bill Ward, are my family. We all grew up together. So I know these guys personally, but their catalog is very dark and sinister, but they're not, Yeah. And for me to wear that cloak and dagger mystery thing was a little bit strange for me. I really did enjoy making Seven Star, and I made another album called DEP Sessions with Tony in 95, and we did Fused in 97. Mm-hmm. So I've done 3 records with Tony, but it was a little bit different for me, Kat, singing in Black Sabbath. It wasn't quite who I am. And I've always liked the challenge, always like a challenge. But I think, Ozzy's voice and Ronnie Dio's voice is perfect for that band, although I did enjoy working with those guys.
Yeah, and you haven't stopped fronting bands, and even I found a recent track you did called Heavy that was a solo track under your own name. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm always writing new material. I'm always in the studio. I'm always working. It's I'll do it until I can't do it anymore. I mean, it's not like I need to do it. I wake up in the morning and I brush my teeth, and I'm kind of on the way to the studio. So it's something I've been doing for so long. It's part of who I am, Well, let's put it like this way, Kat. I was given this gift, mm-hmm. And I had this gift as a child, and I didn't realize I had a gift. I thought I was going to be an athlete, but obviously I wasn't. So I had this other gift, and this gift was this voice, this sensitive voice, which became this bigger voice. Mm-hmm. and it stood the test of time. It's the vocal cords and the voice are. It's a human condition I love so much. So I've been blessed to have this gift.
Yeah, and you haven't lost it either. That song is a really good track. I'm going to play it on my radio show.
Thank you. People ask me how do I do it. I mean, I'm in my 60s now, and I had a conversation with another rock star about 5 years ago about him saying, if you could just do this, you could actually hit the higher notes. I'm going, what? It's like a body image that you have to have, or to sing, or you have to look a certain way to sing a certain note. Mm-hmm. But I'm a bit of a character actor as well. I see myself on stage as an actor, and I say that to other singers, that I see there's an actor role happening, so that's what I like to bring to the stage. In the studio, I'm very much Glenn, the Glenn you're talking to right now. But when I walk onto the stage, there's another Glenn that pops out. Yeah,
definitely. It's probably a good thing. Well, then I want to ask Glenn, not the actor, what he likes to do when he's not on stage or not being the singer.
I live at the beach. I have a lot of dogs. I do a lot of walking, and I do a lot of reading. But my whole life is immersed in music. And this is no joke. I wake up in the middle of the night writing pieces of music, and I got to go into the studio, or I have a studio in my house, and I just get in there, and that's what I do. It's part of. I keep talking about the gift, and the gift for me is this being given to me to sing for people, and to give back the gift that was freely given to me, and I got to give it back, and that's my purpose.
You're driven. You have this thing that's taken over who you are.
Yeah, I just think it's important that artists are really real, and I may used to have hidden behind alcohol when I was a kid, and then you get older and you realize that that's not the way it's supposed to be. It's art is very, very, it's a beautiful thing, and it's for me to have been still here on this planet. What I've been through and I've done to my body is a damn miracle.
I do want to ask, do you still play bass at all in bands or when you're on stage solo?
I play bass. I mean, it's what I do. I'm a lead singing bass player. I said this before, a lot of people talk about my voice, and sometimes people, when they see me playing the bass, they go, oh my God, he's playing bass too. It's like, if you don't know that guy from the 70s, the guy that's coming to play Australia soon, this lead singing bass player, for me, playing the bass is so natural. It's such a natural thing for me to do. I'm a very groove-orientated bass player. It's the notes I don't play that are as important than the notes that I play.
Do you think choosing bass over guitar is something to do with the deep sound, or do you know what drove you to play bass?
Well, I didn't choose to be a bass player. I started on guitar, and an opportunity came to me to be in a band with my best friend, who was 4 years older than I was. And so I put the guitar down. When I was 16, I started to play bass, Mm-hmm. It's something that I believe in karma. I believe in fate. I also believe in whatever gifts you're given, they come, through serendipity. They come through channeling. But when you're young, you don't realize all of those things. Things just sort of... Look, Kat, for me, I think that everything happens in life for a reason. For every action, there's a reaction. And there's always something happens for a reason. For good, for bad, to learn, to lose, to win, to surrender, to show up and to suit up and to be on time. And I've always believed in the karmic value of life.
Well, then, from a songwriting point of view, do you think that that's what you're exploring in your lyrics, and that trying to find the reasons for things that happen?
Every song I write, I think every song since I've been sober, which is a long time, I don't, and this is a quote, this is one of my quotes, I don't write songs about hobbits and devils and dwarves and stuff. I write about the human condition, about love and hate, fear, life, death. Yeah. The 7 deadly sins, if you will, lust as well, gluttony. I write about walking through the fear and walking away from hate, walking into love. It may sound like I'm an old hippie, but that's exactly who I am. We live on a dangerous planet right now. Dangerous planet. And there needs to be more love, and there needs to be more people that understand that if we don't love one another, if we don't completely embrace the love factor, we're all going to end up in trouble. Yeah. And we have to change soon. Yeah. We have to change the way we act soon.
couldn't agree more. Then I'm wondering, like, the Deep Purple music, because a lot of what you're going to be performing was written before you even joined the band. How do you relate to the tracks from Deep Purple?
Oh, wow. You see, because those songs were written when I was in my early 20s, and Robert Plant's a friend of mine, and we talk about the stuff we wrote when we were in our 20s, and, you know, you look back at your early work, and it's like, and all these years later, I'm writing these, it seems like I'm writing novels now. But looking back at what I was writing in the 70s is very, very simple and very straightforward, and there wasn't really a lot to tell because I hadn't lived the life yet. You know, I had not lived a life. I hadn't died and come back from wherever it was. You know, I hadn't had any life expectations or life experience to tell stories. I think telling stories in songs is really, really, really important.
Yeah.
And I hope to carry the message even more.
And well, you have done a lot, of course, with Trapeze and Deep Purple and your short time in Black Sabbath, and I'm sure you've played on stages with some of the world's greatest musicians and that, but is there anything, like any one time, that you hold really dear as a favourite memory?
Well, there's so many. You know, I love singing with orchestras. You know, I've sung with many, and I also like singing acoustically. I just did a show in my hometown back in the UK a couple of weeks ago for TV, a TV show, a documentary on my youth, where I get to sing, you know, acoustic, and that because, you know, here I am, this rock guy made this huge rock statements with Deep Purple, but when you strip it all back, I write, and this is crazy, all the rock songs you hear me write, they're all written on an acoustic guitar. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's just a Paul McCartney thing, that whole thing about writing on the acoustic guitar. If you can make a song sound great on the acoustic guitar, you can absolutely make it to really happen when it goes electric. Because when you strip it all back, when you take it all away, all the effects, all the loops, everything, and it's just your voice and one guitar or one piano, that's when the song becomes really sensitive and real.
Yeah, and so when you play acoustic again, you're kind of revisiting the birth of the track.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, I do like to go back and play acoustic because a lot of my fans want to hear the songs the way they were written. You know, it's they won't believe it when I say, well, this. I mean, I'll play a heavy song like that you've heard, like that track "Heavy" you've heard. That's all written on acoustic. So everything I've written, and it's no joke, it's been written. I mean, all the Black Country albums I've done with Joe Bonamassa, all the songs were written in my studio on acoustic guitar. So it's pretty crazy, but true. Someone asked me to ask you what it was like working with Joe. It's been great. I mean, Joe and I have been friends for about 10 years, and we've done we just finished our fourth album. It's coming out in September. It's coming out the 22nd of September when I get there. So we're very, very excited by this album. But Joe's an incredibly talented young man, knowledgeable, experienced already. He's 40 years old. He calls himself the old man. Well, if he's the old man, what am I? But no, he's a lovely, lovely, kind human being who drips class through every pore of his body. And I really only want the best for Joe. He's a sweet, sweet man. Right. Awesome. And congratulations on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, too. Well deserved. Oh, you know, it was a pretty epic. You know, we're only one of 152 artists to be inducted. Right, yeah. They asked me to become a global ambassador at the Hall of Fame, and I've been back 3 times since I've been inducted to do events for the Hall of Fame. So I'm honored and grateful to be given that honor. Awesome. Can I ask for the tour, which is actually starting on the 20th of September in Australia, are you bringing a full band with you? Of course. Yeah. And one of my band is Australian, Lockie Doley. Lockie Doley, Hammond player, in my opinion, one man's opinion, is the greatest living Hammond organ player we have on planet Earth. And he's an Australian, and he's in my band. So anybody that knows Lockie will know he's the guy. Yeah. I'm bringing Jeff Coleman on guitar and Pontus Engborg on drums, my guys. And we're going to play these songs I haven't played in a long time, and we're going to bring some drama to every city we play in, bring some soul, bring some rock, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
Is Australia the first country you're going to be doing this tour in?
Yeah, we're starting in Australia, New Zealand, and then it'll probably move to, in early next year, we'll go to the Far East and Pacific Rim. Mm-hmm. And then, I would imagine we'll go down to South America and then North America. So it's a matter of, getting everything right. I just want to make sure everything's as perfect as it can be.
Well, thank you so much for honouring us with being the first country to experience this.
Oh, no, it's indeed my pleasure. I have a love affair with your country. Some of my relatives moved there when I was a child, and I get a chance to come back and say hey and go to Perth and say hi to some of my friends and be in Melbourne where, I have a lot of friends, and so it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, well, you're welcome here anytime.
Yeah.
I will tell people it's the 20th of September in Sydney, and then the 24th you're in Perth, the 29th in Melbourne, and the 1st of October in Brisbane. And if people go to glenhughes.com, they can find out more about it, or classicdeeppurple.com has also that's where you get the tickets and things for it.
That sounds great, Kat. Thank you so much for the promo.
Yeah, this is what I'm here for, isn't it? We're here to make sure that people know where to come and see you.
That's very nice of you. Thank you so much.
I'll just quickly say once again, classicdeeppurplelive.com for tickets and information. We look forward to seeing you in September. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Kat.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.